In today's video, I'm going to talk about what I would do if I was going to start a new business in 2026. If I was to start a new business in 2026, I would try and find a painful bottleneck in a business, then I would try and automate it, and I would try and do it at scale. Then I would charge for a success-based outcome as well. In this video, I'll break down the exact principles that worked for me in my tech recruitment agency and what I would improve upon. However, I'm going by my own experience and what I've learned over the past 7 years from starting my own tech recruitment agency with practically no money and getting that business to £1 million in sales. Okay, so let's jump into the video. AI workflows. I would try and use AI workflows where I could to try and improve my business systems and lead generation. But that could be said for any business, not just my own recruitment agency. Most businesses would benefit from automating some of the more boring and manual tasks that they have. When you have an agency business similar to myself, you could easily use AI to help you generate leads, which is probably one of the more time-consuming parts of my business. Or if I had some kind of trades business, I would use AI to try and help me price work more efficiently so I don't make any mistakes or anything that's going to cost me more money. The main thing we're trying to do here is to try and move as much manual administration tasks as possible. Because if we can save time, then hopefully we should make some more money. By spending less time on administration tasks and the more boring side of the business, we can spend time on the things that are going to help make us money. This means I can spend more time focusing on client work and trying to nurture those relationships and trying to expand on those. Picking a niche. Now, if I was starting a business in 2026, I would try and pick a business where there is going to be constant need for what I do. I would want to try and build a repeat client base similar to my recruitment business. The reason I picked a technology niche is because tech in the UK is pretty big and you need people and engineers and developers and managers to try and help bring these products to life. And that's not just to build these products, but also to sell those products as well. You can have a great business, but if you pick the wrong niche, then you're always going to struggle. And a good example of this was in the past when I had a slightly different niche. I was only charging around 3 or 4 grand a fee, but now I've changed my niche, still within technology, but to a higher end market, and I can charge anything from 15 to 20,000 pounds a fee. And essentially it is all still the same work, it is just a different client base. So don't waste your time at the lower end of the market. I know it sounds obvious, but if you try and go after problems where you can charge a lot more money for, then you're going to make a lot more money and you might find things are a little bit easier. Another reason I would want to try and get a repeat client base is so I don't have to waste time on business development and trying to get new clients, and then I can avoid the whole churn and burn side of things. Because if you have a client which is just a one and done, it can be quite hard to keep building new business again and again and again. I would also focus on a B2B business as they tend to have more money and budgets allocated to fix problems. That's not to say a B2C business wouldn't work or be effective, but it is just a lot harder to charge someone £10,000 to fix a problem. From my experience, you can also charge a premium rate or a premium fee if you have a specialism or a certain niche that you dominate in. And this tends to be because you are more credible and have more knowledge on that one subject. There is going to be a big difference between a recruiter who recruits for Java developers in New York compared to a generalist tech recruiter who recruits all across Europe and the UK. So the more niche you can go, the more you can charge, but that's not to say that you can't have a couple of core areas which you operate in. Now, when it comes to shaping my offer for clients, I want to make sure that I am charging for outcomes and not on an hourly rate. Because when you charge an hourly rate, all it does is hurt you for being effective and good at your job. To give you an example, one of the biggest fees I ever made was around an hour's work. As you can imagine, if I had only charged for an hour's work, I would have made a lot less money. Because if you are charging at an hourly rate, it's very hard to scale because there's only a certain number of hours in a day or a week or a month. So by charging for a success-based outcome, we can maximize the amount of money we can possibly make. The other thing here is clients might perceive this to be less risk as well. So if I was starting a business again in 2026, I would want to make sure I have a good money back guarantee. Now, I already offer a 90-day free replacement and a guarantee. Now, I'm sure if I upped my own money back guarantee and free replacement scheme, there would be more clients that are more inclined to work with me. It's important to make sure that you get the balance right on this. Otherwise, you could end up working for nothing. I hope this video helps you on your own journey to starting a business in 2026 and you find my own experience interesting and somewhat useful. Now, I'm sure other people will have different opinions on what to do when starting a business in 2026, but I am going by my own experience and what I've learned over this past 7 years of having my own tech recruitment agency. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.